The following program was paid for by Latino Cleveland.
This program was made possible by Global Cleveland, supporting the growth of Northeast Ohio's Hispanic community.
Este programa es hecho gracias a Global Cleveland, respaldando el crecimiento de la comunidad hispana en el noreste de Ohio.
Hola, Cleveland. I'm Myra Rosario, your host of Yo Soy Latino Cleveland, the only show that showcases Northeast Ohio's Hispanic community. Trust me, we have lots of fun here. Today, we're celebrating El Día de Padres, Father's Day, so we are going to share with you some cool events that you and your papa, your father, can enjoy together. Plus today, in light of the NBA Finals, I'm excited that Rafael Brito, the Spanish voice of the Cavs, will be in studio to talk to us about the inside scoop of the Cavs season. And also in studio, the Maltz Museum will be here to talk about a special baseball event going on tomorrow for Father's Day. They will be showcasing some big-time Latino players, so you don't want to miss it. But to get the show started, we're going to take you on a trip to Neomed, one of our educational sponsors, to see a wonderful program that high school students that is happening every year. Let's take a look at that.
Well, we're in Rootstown, Ohio at Northeast Ohio Medical University. And a lot of people don't know that we're here, but we are, and we've been here for 40 years. And we're all about providing for the community health needs for Northeast Ohio and Ohio more broadly. We have a medical degree program, we have a pharmacy degree program, and we have a variety of graduate programs here. And today what we're doing is we're demonstrating our commitment to bringing the community onto our campus because we are a part of the community, and this is one reflection of it. And today we have a bunch of kids, and all of them have identified health concerns in their community and done something about it, and we're here to celebrate that.
We are at the third annual HPAC Scholars Day here at Neomed, where we have approximately 600 students presenting either professional posters or oral presentations on projects that they've worked on all throughout the year. So they've identified a health disparity in their community that they wanted to research and address, and then they develop and design a program or a project to either bring awareness or resolve that issue. They assess the effectiveness of their program, and then the final step of our HPAC model is to share. So here they're coming to share what they've done.
HPAC is Health Professions Affinity Community, and in HPAC we tell kids some things that they might know in their core, but nobody has really challenged them to actually say out loud. And that is, you can address the health concerns in your community like any community can, and dare I say should. And so we say to them, you can do this. And they join with their community, they talk to their parents, they talk to their friends and family, and they identify what they think is the most important health concern in their community. And then we say something else pretty crazy to them. We say, you can do something about it. And guess what? Your community will rally behind you. There is resources in your community that will help you to do something about this important and pressing health concern.
It can be anything from type 2 diabetes that they're researching, to bullying, to stress management. One of my favorites is a prescription drug drop box.
And so then we support them as they formulate a program, using their community as the vital resource to make it all go. And then eventually they enact their program with the community, and they share the program. And so what you see here today is the community sharing with itself what are our pressing health concerns and what we can do about it.
It's our hope that after they've been introduced to the different health professions and they really become engaged with their community after dealing with or implementing these projects, that yes, they will become then health professionals.
They come to recognize a new role for themselves, and that role is somebody who is an emerging leader in the community, who can address the community's needs with the community and partner to find solutions. I think unfortunately a lot of times we don't recognize what youth can really do, And in this program, that's exactly what we try to do. So I think that one of the things that comes out of this program is that youth recognize, as does their community, that they can do something real and vital in their community. I think the other effect is that it brings hope to communities, that we don't have to have people from the outside come in and solve our problems for us, that we have people in our community that can do that for us. But they need a partner oftentimes, and one of those partners is educators, the educational system. And so we are there as a partner to identify those youth and then support them so they can become not just community leaders, which is exactly what we hope that they'll become, but also become healthcare professionals who are leaders from and for their communities. If someone was interested about coming to our program or learning more, then they should go to hpac.me. It will direct you to the portion of the Neomed website.
The impact is the community. They're making a change in their community. They're giving their community something to be proud of and also addressing these health issues in the community.
Neomed's HPAC program works with any of your local high schools. So if you don't have it in your school currently, talk to your school's administration or teachers to get started. Up next, Father's Day spent with Carlos Baerga, Alvaro, Espinoza. Does that sound like fun? Stay tuned. We'll tell you more about this right after this. Welcome back to Yo Soy Latino Cleveland. I'm happy to have with us Jeffrey Allen from the Maltz Museum and Cindy Duber from the Cleveland Jewish Foundation. How are you guys?
Very well. We're very pleased to be here. Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. So can you please share with our audience the Maltz Museum? What is it, your mission?
Sure. Well, the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage is in Beachwood, Ohio, and our mission is really pretty straightforward. We're really about exploring issues of identity, culture, assimilation, and building bridges between communities. We happen to do it through the Jewish perspective and the Jewish lens.
Right. So you don't have to be Jewish to
Absolutely
be a member?
Absolutely not. We love everyone. We want everyone to be a part of the story we're telling.
Okay. So you have a great event coming up. Can you share with our audience?
Yes, and we're really thrilled to be partnering with the CRC and the Alpha Group from the Jewish Federation of Greater Cleveland on this really special event to bring Carlos Baerga and Alvaro Espinoza from the 1995 Cleveland Indians and
Yes.
other years as well, moderating a conversation with Bob DiBiasio, VP with the Indians, about the great Roberto Clemente.
Yes, that's awesome. That's exciting. So what brought you guys together to do this?
Well, it was one of those moments of having a shared vision about reaching out and building bridges between communities. And I would say this is one of those great opportunities for us to work together with a shared goal.
Right. We've had a strong relationship with the Latino community, and we work very closely with the Hispanic Alliance.
Yes.
And
I've seen that.
the reason for our partnership really stems from our shared values and our mutual interest in our city of Cleveland. We share a history of immigration.
Yes.
We share family values. We also share our interest in the justice, in social justice, and in education.
That's great. So, okay, what would people expect if they come to the event?
Well, first, you have an opportunity to see this amazing exhibition, Chasing Dreams, Baseball and Becoming American, over 145 artifacts, some of which came directly from the Cleveland Indians, and some came from the Baseball Heritage Museum at League Park. It's interactive, it is family friendly. You're going to hear the stories of great players, but also for fans, of owners, of announcers, and how this great sport really serves as a way to build community. And you don't have to be a baseball fan to like this exhibition.
Right.
So you're going to have that exhibition. Then you're going to have this amazing opportunity to hear Carlos Baerga and Alvaro Espinoza talking about their amazing careers, but also talking about the tremendous impact of Roberto Clemente, who after the World Series spoke in Spanish on national television. For maybe the very first time that an icon like that had spoken in the native tongue. And I think what it must have been like to be in the audience that day and to hear that, and to be honored in that way, especially considering he was made fun of by the press for his broken English and his accent, and to take that bold, courageous step and be a game changer in that way. It's such an amazing and powerful story.
Well, I do want to say thank you for even doing this and considering the Hispanic community. Can you share with our audience the price and location and
Sure.
information?
Maltz Museum is at 2929 Richmond Road in Beachwood, and if you call and say that you saw us on Yo Soy Latino, we will give you the member price for this event, $6.
Did you hear that?
You can't see a movie for $6.
Nice. All right, well, thank you. We do have that information on screen, so thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is such a great event. Now, the Q, we have the Spanish voice of the Q here, so make sure you stay tuned because they have a great commitment to the Hispanic community. Welcome back to Yo Soy Latino Cleveland. Now, I told you that Rafael Brito, the Spanish voice of the Cavs, is with us today, but before he joins us, we had a chance to visit him at the Q during the playoffs to hear all about the experience and the commitment the Cavs has to the Hispanic community. So let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Myra Rosario with Yo Soy Latino Cleveland, and you may not know this, that Cleveland Cavaliers have their own Spanish broadcaster. How are you?
That is correct, Myra. Yo soy Latino también. My name is Rafael Hernández Brito, the voice of, in Spanish, of the Cavaliers de Cleveland, Los Cavs.
Right.
For the first time in our franchise history, the Cavaliers have decided to reach out to the community, to the Hispanic and growing community here in Cleveland, and very happy to be here, very happy to be part of the community. And
¿De dónde tú eres? Where are you from?
I am originally from El Salvador.
Okay.
I came to the U.S. when I was 15 years old. You know, as a result of the civil war back home, I was one of the ones that got shipped out early, and so I consider myself also a New Yorker. I came to New York when I was 15 and lived there for 25 years. Left New York for 4 years to go to school in Boston.
Wow.
I attended Boston University and then came back.
So broadcasting, how did you
broadcasting,
end up in broadcasting?
Well, it's
and how long? Share with our audience all about your history.
It's a real long story. I am an engineer by trade. I'm a mechanical engineer with a specialization in machine design. I wanted to build jet engines when I graduated from college, but I didn't have my citizenship.
Oh, okay.
I only had a green card, and because of I wanted to work with companies that build jets and engines, those jobs were only for U.S. citizens, and I didn't have a U.S. citizenship. Okay. So I was just dying to cut the cord and stop calling my parents for money and my brothers. So I got a job selling beer out of everything. So I discovered that I was very good at sales, and I did very well. I moved up all the way up to work for the brewery, but it got to a point where I wasn't learning anymore. I wasn't having fun. I was making money, but I wasn't having fun. So I quit.
Right.
The day that I didn't want to go to work, I quit and went back to school for broadcasting. And my first job was doing the play-by-play for men's basketball at St. John's University. I went from making hundreds of thousands of dollars to making $150 a game, but I was the happiest man in the world.
Right,
I loved
that's
what I
all
was
that
doing.
matters, right? Absolutely. So, what types of sports have you announced? And because you have a long history of that.
I've been doing this for 18 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
And from the start, I didn't want to marry myself to one sport. I wanted to be a little more versatile, like Bob Costas or Jim Nance were the ones that I always looked up to. So I done the World Series, I done the Little League World Series, I done college basketball, I never done the NBA, I done 14 Super Bowls. I called 14 Super Bowls, and I done triple crown horse racing, I done boxing, UFC, but this will be my first NBA Finals.
Yes.
The Cavaliers make it for the second time in the franchise history. So
That's great.
there is some history behind this thing.
Now, before we go, the Cavaliers found the importance of reaching the Hispanic community. Can you share quickly what it is that the Cleveland Cavaliers...
One of the things that attracted me to come into work for the Cavaliers wasn't much of the opportunity to come and be part of this LeBron James coming back, but it was the seriousness that the Cavaliers had in terms of reaching out to the Hispanic community. They came to me and talked about what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it, because just because the broadcast is in Spanish doesn't mean the team and the company doesn't give me the resources to reach out to our community.
Right,
so
absolutely.
anybody watching that needs help or needs to need us involved,
Yes, absolutely.
reach
Yo soy
Myra.
Latina.
And we would love to be part of that.
What an interesting guy here. Now, Rafael, how can our audience get a hold of you if they want to get a hold
You
of you?
can reach me via Twitter at El Alcalde Rafa, @El Alcalde Rafa, also the same thing on Instagram and on Facebook. And also Cavs.com is all the information you need to know about our broadcast on La Mega,
Yes,
87.7. And also in Spanish on Fox Sports, Ohio.
Okay, great. Now, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
No
De
problem.
nada.
De nada. Stay tuned for more Yo Soy Latino Cleveland after this.
Welcome back to Yo Soy Latino Cleveland. Well, we're still excited and slightly exhausted from the from the finals, but I'm excited that Rafael is joining us today in studio to talk to us about Cavs, the Cavs performance. How are you doing?
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. It was a hell of a season, I think. It was a wonderful experience for not only for myself for the first year that we did the games in Spanish, but I think for the whole city of Cleveland. The state of Ohio just went through a ride that, although, like Coach Blatt said, it didn't have a happy ending, but it doesn't mean it wasn't a good story.
Oh man, it's incredible. So share with us some highlights. What are some of your favorite highlights of the season?
Well, the season was formed by so many chapters. We started off with the expectation, obviously, the return of LeBron James to Cleveland, and everybody put us as the candidates to be the champs in the NBA. We didn't start off very well. We had a 19-20 record, and obviously all the talks about the coach losing his job, and then the three new faces that came in with Mozgov, Shumpert, and J.R. Smith kind of changed. And then we had this period where after LeBron had rested for 2 weeks, we were the best team in the NBA, the best home team, the best road team, and 33-3 in the last games in the regular season. It's a lot to say about. Then obviously we all know the injuries bug hit us really hard.
Yeah.
But the best part of the season, I could tell you about plays when we beat the Bulls in the fourth game, but the best part, I think, is the grit that the Cavaliers showed in the court, the hard they play, and they really symbolize what the city of Cleveland is all about. They never gave up, they never threw the towel, they didn't put any excuses, and even with injuries, we beat Boston, we beat the Bulls, and we swept the Hawks. And then on top of that, we made it to Game 6 of the NBA Finals. So at the end of the day, it's a whole story that is very, very, very intriguing. It's a very good story. It's a very good season, and we'll be back for more.
Right. So what do you think about the energy? I mean, I know you said you've been broadcasting for 18 years, so what did you think of the energy, Cleveland fans?
It was awesome. It was awesome because even though it wasn't the ending that we expected, I think the city of Cleveland, the fans of the Cavaliers are very satisfied with the effort that we put in. The queue was just amazing during the games, and even during the viewing parties. I think it was even amazing the fact that even though it sounds silly, it could be heard. Wherever we were, we knew the energy that was going on here. And I just wanted to mention a couple of the favorite things that you were just asking me. Because of the viewing parties and the fact that people were paying $5 to go in during the finals, everything was donated to two of the big charities that we have as partners, the Greater Cleveland Food Bank and the Shoes and Clothes for Kids. They each got $130,000 because 100% of the proceeds was donated to local charities, plus the Cavalier Youth Fund also donated over $100,000 to other charities. So it was an all-in Cleveland effort, and we're still all in.
Honestly, that's awesome. So what do you think the future holds for the Cavs?
Well, the future starts now. The coaches and the general manager did a great job, David Griffin and Dave Blatt, the coach. They're already working on next season. We have Summer League coming up in July 9th it starts, and then the training camp starts in less than 100 days. So the season was long for us because we made it to the finals, but they've been at work for next year already. From before the finals started, the draft is coming up in a week, and the work never stops. And that's the amazing thing about it. We're really working at it. The future looks good. Awesome. After what we just went through.
Yes. We definitely put ourselves on the map.
Yes, the future for the Cavaliers looks good. We will continue to have the best player in the world in LeBron James. We're hoping that, like our general manager said, that we are going to sign Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson and Matthew Dellavedova. We will keep the base that got us here, and then we will add the pieces that need to be added. And I think that's one of the good things. Our ownership is determined to bring a championship to Cleveland, and I'm hoping that next year is the year.
So do you think Virgil's coming back?
Anderson Varejao is coming back. He's signed, and he's already in the process of getting healthy. Nice. I think he doesn't want to talk about anymore about being injured. He wants to talk about being in the process of recovering from his injury. And he will be in Vegas for training for the Summer League, just to get his first action back from when he was injured late last year.
That's awesome. So Rafi, will you stick around?
Of course.
Okay, awesome. Don't go anywhere. When we return, Rafael and I will be giving you the scoop, some more scoop, and great job opportunities and Father's Day events. So make sure you stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Yo Soy Latino Cleveland. With me, Rafael Hernandez Brito, the Spanish voice for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Welcome back.
That's me.
So Rafael, what's next? What's next for you?
Well, this is the fun part, because with all the traveling during the season, we didn't really have that much time to spend with the community and to spend doing the things that we really came to do here other than broadcasting the game. So we're going to work a lot with the community during the summer. Mm-hmm. We're getting ready. Like I told you, we're going to Vegas for the Summer League, and we're going to celebrate. Right. With calling the NBA Finals. The Cavaliers made me the first Latino broadcaster to call the finals of the three major sports in the U.S., baseball, Major League Baseball, NFL with the Super Bowl and the NBA Finals. So
well,
I'm celebrating.
We are so happy to have you be a
Thank
part
you.
of our city and just everything that you're doing. So go Cavs, right?
Go Cavs.
Now, before we go, we want to share some opportunities with our viewers from RTA. And there are a lot of events going on tomorrow for Father's Day that you may want to check out. So make sure you tune in here every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Yo Soy Latino Cleveland.